Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to week 2 in our issues class, ED 586. We begin our second week, and I hope by now you've kind of picked up the rhythm and the purpose where we're going to examine issues and tie the program together, looking at some things you've looked at in depth and trying to apply some things in some practical situations. I'm looking forward to working with you and seeing how you are involving yourselves with Annie in her typical school day. Our textbook for this part of the course, Character and the Contemplative Principle by Dr. Mimi Shuttwaffle, does present Annie as this being her typical day. Keep that in mind as you are analyzing her day. It's not her exceptional day, it is her typical day. Does it sound familiar to you? Is it something you do? Is it something you see your principal do? What are Annie's good qualities, her strengths? And what are the areas where she seems to be so consumed and a little too caught up in the rush of the day? What are the areas where she makes decisions that are not necessarily prudent, have not necessarily had enough thought? And what are some areas where there may even be some legal issues? Most of you have had Dr. Wanamuller's class in school law, and so you know some of those issues. So look for those as well. Just a reminder that this essay due to me about Annie's day and a graph is meant to be an opportunity for you not to put every activity on the graph, but to divide the graph into 3 major sections, constituting her spiritual, her educational, and her managerial duties. So there should be 3 segments, and you need then to have the graph and your analysis of her day according to the questions that have been provided for you in the textbook. This assignment has 2 parts, and they are 2 distinct parts, but they make up one assignment for submission. So whether you title it 1A and 1B, whether you put a subtitle for each section, following those APA guidelines for level 2 heading, it is one assignment. So I look forward to seeing how you are relating to Annie and her typical day. In addition to that, I've included in this week's presentation a segment on your research paper. I would ask you please to send me 3 to 5 research questions that you hope to answer in that paper. These will be your guide for your reading and your research, choosing what books and journals and chapters from which to gather information. I would like to take a look at that and see where you're going, and in many cases either reorganize them, maybe narrow them down. You find out that as you continue to go up in different levels of academics, for example, with your dissertation, you kind of come in with the idea that you're going to do this great big research project. And you find out that it gets smaller and smaller and smaller, and you end up doing this one tiny little piece. So keep in mind, it is a 20-page paper, and part of that paper is the lit review. And so it's not all that long a paper for you to use and develop. So I would like to read your questions and then give you some feedback. No grade, just to guide your focus and maybe help you to narrow, or maybe in some cases to expand the field that you need to research. So I will provide that back to you and try to get those back to you as soon as possible so that you can continue your research and your lit review. Remember, on your home page of this course in Canvas, you have topics to help you with writing your research paper, with organizing it, and with doing the lit review. The lit review must have a minimum of 10 articles, books, journals, chapters, resources. And some of those will be things that are very useful for your topic. Others you will be writing and saying, it was very interesting, but it doesn't really fit my topic because. So there's a blend there of what works and what doesn't work. So hopefully when when I, can look at your research questions, and then you can continue working on your lit review. Please keep in mind that I depend on you to ask the questions, and I really will not be sending any other information to you. So when you ask a question, particularly if several people ask the same question, I will return that to you via the announcement section rather than just an individual answer. So please look for those responses and don't hesitate to ask questions. Um, I'm enjoying your discussion so far as we're moving into the first week with Catholic identity and our focus on prayer and Eucharist and our interaction with one another. I hope that Canvas is working well for you. If you encounter problems or you find that you can't open a file, please check with me first, because very often it may just be that I didn't click the little dot on that one particular file. So check with me first, and that's an easy fix for me to do before you go searching with IT. If it's something more serious, I will refer you to that. So I hope that you have a good week and you continue to enjoy Annie's Day and either find great solace in it or find a lot of concerns that need to be addressed. Have a wonderful week, and God bless you.